WNBC TV, this is News 4 New York with Chuck Scarborough and Sue Simmons.
Good evening, I'm Tony Gaitis, who is off tonight. In the Vatican today, the meeting that outraged Jews tried to stop happened.
Pope John Paul II met with Austrian President Kurt Waldheim, the man Nazi hunters say was involved in the extermination of Jews when he was a German officer in the Second World War. Ignoring the charges and the chants of protesters, the Pope praised Waldheim as a man of peace. Gabe Pressman reports on the meeting in Rome and the reaction here.
The Swiss Guards, the playing of the Austrian national anthem, honors accorded a head of state. Kurt Waldheim received by the Pope in the Vatican. John Paul speaking warmly of Waldheim's peace efforts as UN Secretary General. Waldheim, accused of complicity in sending thousands of Jews and partisans to their deaths in World War II, told the Pope he believed in Christianity and the Sermon on the Mount. Tonight, Jewish protesters, some of them former concentration camp prisoners, marched through the streets of Rome, and there was a diplomatic reception for Waldheim. Some countries not represented by their ambassadors, at least two nations, the United States and the Netherlands, sending lower-ranking officials. Waldheim denied he was becoming a diplomatic outcast.
There is no diplomatic isolation. This was something which was invented, but in fact I have a number of other invitations.
American Jewish leaders are asking for an early meeting with the Pope to discuss the Waldheim controversy and other issues. Here in New York, words from John Cardinal O'Connor and a Jewish leader.
Now the question is whether this whitewashing of Waldheim will now begin to establish the notion that the Nazi past is being buried, no reference is made to it, and then you can go about business as usual.
I categorically believe that he would not have had that meeting if he thought he shouldn't have had it. And no one would respect him if he thought he should have the meeting and there's disagreement and protest, so he says, I won't have the meeting.
And as far as the Holocaust is concerned, and demeaning the Holocaust by entertaining an audience with Waldheim.
I can understand an interpretation put on it that that's what's happening. I would swear if I were being thrown to the lions, that's the last thing in the world that the Pope would intend to do.
Privately, both the Cardinal and Jewish leaders are expressing concern that a backlash doesn't develop among both Catholics and Jews that could jeopardize future relations. Gabe Pressman, News 4, New York.
John Paul II first visited Austria 4 years ago, and today church officials in Vienna announced the Pope will make a return trip to Waldheim's country next summer.